everybody, it's Crafting Just Because with Chris Cowan, and today we are going to be playing with the Best Butterflies bundle. So it's a stamp set, and then it has coordinating dies to go with it. Great set. It also has coordinating designer series paper, which we will be using. And then I'm also going to be bringing in the Amazing Phrases stamp set, and that's a free stamp set that you can get with a $100 order during celebration. And let me tell you what colors we're playing with here. So we have Starry Sky cardstock, and then this is the Parakeet Party cardstock, and then some of that butterfly, Best Butterflies paper, and there's another piece of it. And then I'm just using a scrap of the Fresh Freesia cardstock as well. And I pre-cut these shapes, these three, using our Stylish Shapes dies. And then I just fussy cut out the butterflies, which I believe our dies will cut out too, but like I said, just fussy cutted them just because it was easy for me to do. I like to do that when I'm watching TV. And then let's see here, I think that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and do some pre-stamping, and then we will go ahead and put this card together. And it looks like it's a difficult card to put together, which you haven't seen it, but you will see it. But it's not. So we have two pieces of basic white cardstock, and these are cut at 2 1/8 by 3 1/8 and 2 1/8 by 2 3/4. And then I'm gonna bring in Calypso Coral and Parakeet Party to go with this. And let's see here. I am going to actually, you know what? I'm not pairing it with Amazing Phrases. I want to use the stamp set from here, the Best Butterflies. I was wondering, I'm like, this doesn't look right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put You're My Bestie on the bigger piece. And I'm going to use Calypso Coral for that. Well, I'm using Calypso Coral for all the wording. Okay. And then on the smaller piece, I'm going to put, let's see here. I'm going to do Sending, but we're only going to use part of the stamp here. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. So I just did the sending, sorry, not spending. Just like that. And then I'm going to do All the Love. Cute, okay? Then I'm going to then take my Parakeet Party and there's this line, like a stitched line stamp, and I'm going to just put that, just to add more color around my sentiments. So this one I'm just going to add a border like that, and this one I'm going to add just a border like that. Okay, So that's all of our stamping done and out of the way. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do some scoring and cutting. So we're going to need to bring in our paper trimmer. Okay. And you should have a piece of cardstock. I actually used a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and you're going to get all of these pieces out of that 12 by 12. You'll have some extra. But you want one piece that is 4.5 by 11 5/8. And on the 11 5/8 inch side, you want to score it at 3 7/8. Just like that. And then you're going to have a piece that is 3 1/8 by 10 1/4. And on the 10 1/4 inch side, you want to score it at 3 3/8. And then we're going to have our 3 by 3 piece and our stitch circle, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to burnish those lines. So here's their bigger piece, and we're going to burnish the line there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this piece in and put it right on the side of that score line. Okay, so your card's going to fold up like this. Okay. And then we have this score line to do. Now I want my paper trimmer back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some cutting. So what we're going to do is on that larger piece, okay, we are going to put in our paper like this, and we're going to line it up at 1 inch on this side, okay? And then we are going to want to cut from the 1/2 inch score line to the 3 inch. So to right there. And it's hard to see on this dark paper, so excuse me if you can't see it. Okay. I think I need to do a little bit more. Let's see. No, that was it. Okay. And then I'm going to put it on this edge and do the same thing. We're going to score from a 1/2 inch. And we line it up at a 1/2 inch. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the smaller piece, but we're going to do it from a 1/4 inch to 2.5 inches. So let me get it to a 1/4 inch. And then we gotta line that one up. Okay. Let me make sure I got this one done right too. Okay. Now, so that's the hardest part of this. Hopefully my head wasn't in the way there. Now what you're going to want to do is you have 2 strips of designer series paper, and these are cut at let me see what my measurements are. 1.5 by 3.5. One we might have to trim down, but that's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to go like this. So this is the front of our cardstock. We're going to slide it in just like that. Okay. And then, yeah, see this one we need to trim down just a teeny bit. And then you're going to fold in these edges. And this is your sliding mechanism. Okay. We're going to do the same thing on this piece. This one needs to be trimmed down too. I might have cut those a little too long. And you don't want them real tight because you want this to be able to slide back and forth like that. Okay. Okay. So now what you're going to do is we are going to add to our bigger one. We're going to go ahead and add tear and tape to this mechanism. Oops, I did it too long too. Hopefully that's in camera. We added tear and tape. And we're going to add our 3 by 3 square. Whoops. Come on. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it where the mechanism's up at the top. I'm going to put it where it's just overlapping just a tiny bit so I can see where that card comes out. And then this should slide. See how it slides? Okay, now what we're going to do is oh, shoot, was the 3 by 3? You know what? Hold on. This 3 by 3 needs to be on the smaller one. I knew I was doing something. It paused me for a minute. So let's add our little mechanism here. So like I said, we're going to just have it coming up over the edge just a tiny bit. Make sure you get it nice and even. Mark down. Oh, and I forgot to fold this part in. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure I've got that far enough over. We're going to add our tear and tape and seal this up. Making sure that my card's not down. what I'm gonna do is just kind of run my finger over that just to push that up a little bit so it makes sure I don't hit my cardstock. I don't want to hit that 3x3 square. Okay, then we're gonna flop that over just like that. Okay, so here's your mechanism. Uh-oh, is it gonna hit it? Come on. It's catching on it. Hold on just a second. I might have had it too far over. Oh, I see what I did. Hold on, guys. Okay, my goof. There we go. Now it should slide right out. Come on, why aren't you sliding? Why is this not sliding? Of course, because when I'm on camera, did I make this too tight? I might have made this too tight when I went back and glued it. Okay, it's sliding. Now I got to make sure I line my glue back up, right, so that I don't get my cardstock. Shoot, I might need to do this one over. Let's remake this tab. It's too sticky. Too sticky. I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, so it's by 3.5, and it's a 1/2 inch. And we gotta cut it down. Only me, right? Hi, Kathy. Sorry I got fumbled up here. Okay. Stick together. Come on. Okay. Now I'm going to take this tearing tape off. Okay. Now let's try this again. We're going to put a piece of tearing tape down. Let me get rid of this other tearing tape really quick so that we don't get stuck. And it looks like I folded it kind of crooked. So here, let me get that folded back up, right? Okay. Now we're going to add our tearing tape to the other side. as everything falls on my desk. Okay. Let's try it. This is the side we should put the tear tape on. There and there. And we're going to put the tear and tape on this edge as well. Okay, and then we need a piece on this one too. Okay, oops. I'm gonna add my tear and tape here. Okay, now we should be good to go. We should be able to take this off, put down our 3x3 card, let's make sure it slides, come on. Yep, okay, it slides. Now we're going to take off our tear and tape, fold that over. Dang it, did it stick? It's sticking to my tear and tape. I must have cut this a little big. Come on. Urgh. Okay, I'm going to do something really quick here. I'm going to trim this up down a little bit so that it'll just slide for us. Be patient, be patient. Okay. Come on. Now what did I do? There we go. Oh, am I going the wrong way? I might be going the wrong way here. Oh my gosh. What the heck do I have going on here? I don't understand why it's sticking. My first one turned out flawlessly, of course. Okay, let's get all this tear and tape off, if it'll come off. Come on. Okay, so I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use my liquid multi-purpose glue because I could do a thin line and it won't stick. Okay, so let's get this back on. Just like that. Then I'm just going to add a thin line here. Let's see. Okay, come on. I got to let that dry for a minute. Let's work on the front while we're waiting on that to dry because I keep pulling it. So now I have a piece of Parakeet Party that is helps if you put it on the right side, Chris. It is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then a piece of the Designer Series paper that is 3 1/2 by 4. And I'm going to layer those two on top of each other. Just like that. So there's like a tiny 8-inch border around it. Then I'm going to take, I also have 2 pieces of Parakeet Party that are cut at, let's see here, 3 3/4 by 4, or sorry, 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 and 2 1/4 by 2 7/8. And those are going to hold our stamped images that we already did. Okay. And there's that. That's still drying. Then we're going to layer our circles, and I did the largest and the second largest. I'm just going to layer those onto each other. I'm going to take some of the fresh freesia ribbon, and I'm going to tie it around this Parakeet Party piece. That glue should be nice and settled by now. That'll be nice, since I was a disaster at the beginning of this video. Okay. Always happens though, right? Only to me. Okay. Then I'm going to add my butterflies, and I'm just going to put them up on dimensionals. Here. Hopefully I'm in camera view there. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put that on top of dimensionals. And I'm going to just layer that right on top of there. Okay, now let's see if we can get this to slide. Come on. I let you dry. There we go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this on top of here. Just like that. Make sure I'm over enough. I'm worried now. I should have probably gone over a little bit. Shoot. Okay. And then we're going to take off our tear and tape. And we're going to fold this up just like that. Okay, come on. Aw. Oh, no. It wasn't dry. Okay, let's let that dry for a minute since I used that liquid glue. And then we're going to add our topper right onto the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my cards down. And then hopefully I can get these dry enough to where it'll pull. Okay, come on. It's not working. So when it pulls out, it's going to say just like this. And I should have stamped closer to the top because it's going to kind of cut off my saying here. There's that one. Hi, Pauline. You joined a live that kind of ended up being a disaster. My card kind of came apart here. Oh, I forgot to add my tab. So that's how the card's going to work when it's pulled out. And then what I did was I took that fresh freesia piece and I cut it in half. And I'm going to glue the front just like that. And then match it up to the back. I'm hoping that glue will dry so that my card will slide since I kind of got glue everywhere. But that's how this card is supposed to work. So if you follow my directions and are very patient and don't follow what I did as far as putting make sure you put that tear and tape all the way to the edge, your card will turn out. But if you don't get that tear and tape all the way to the edge, as you saw, you're going to have some issues. And I was relying on my liquid glue to kind of save me, and that made a big mistake. So, take it from me, put it all the way to the edge. If you're using liquid glue like I had to do it there at the end, let it dry in between stages. But that's how you make a triple slider card. And I don't want to push it back in, you guys, because I don't want it to get ruined. Let me see if I can find my sample card because it worked perfectly. Just 1 second here. One second. Here we go. Okay, here's the same card that I made, and it folds out like this, but I'm letting this one dry, and then it slides right back in. So just make sure that you don't do what I did, like I said in my video, and put the tear and tape to make sure it's very close to the edge so that this all comes out right. So thank you guys for joining me today. And until next time, I'll see you later. Sorry about the disaster. Bye-bye.